Hey gang, man, today we're going to review a bunch of social media content that you guys submitted. We're going to go over a bunch of your profiles as well as some content. Some people and coaches had some specific questions for me, like, how should I optimize this? If I want to get more clients, what do I do? Take a look at this. So we're going to dive all into that, as well as I'm going to do a giveaway today too. So tune in, ask some questions if we have time as well. Drop your social media handles in the link. Be courageous, or in the comments with the link. Be courageous, and I'll take a look at them. There's no the fact that you're posting content for your business and putting yourself out there is the most important thing. Like, without a doubt, there's no right or wrong here, but there are things that we can do to optimize that process. And sometimes you just need a second set of eyes taking a look at what you're doing to really optimize that process. I'm also a touch sniffly today, so bear with me, but I knew I had to follow through and do this because it's just a sniffle and I'm on the other side of the screen. Can't get you anything, but also, who are we if you don't follow through on our word? Right, gang? Very important. Let's go to the first profile here. And I'm going to share my screen in a second. If you guys are tuning in and watching, as I share my screen, if someone could just tell me, yes, we can see it, that would be great. Okay, let's do this here. Okay, first coach that passed along things. This is the first person that acted and jumped on this. We got Lily. Lily's primary goal of her social media account is to gain followers. Any secondary goals to gain clients in the future. So it sounds like, Lily, you're just like in the discovery phase around your coaching and your business. I personally, if you don't feel ready to take on clients, that totally understand that. But for many people, I think just getting started on making it obvious that there is a coaching offer is the thing that we need to be doing. So keep that in mind too. But let me share my screen here. Here we go. Here's Lily's profile. Number one, first thing I'm going to do here, Lily, toss you a follow. You'd also mentioned your TikTok as well, which I'm assuming is a very, very similar process. One thing that's cool about this type of stuff suggested for you, usually these accounts are very similar to Lily's. And when you go to these type of things, you can check out those profiles and see what they're doing well and model some of your stuff off of that. So I'd keep that in mind too. But okay, let's take a look at some of the stuff you're doing here. So you had mentioned really in that discovery phase around trying to grow your following and get more eyes on your stuff, which, hey, you're doing a good job of. 2,000 people. I would say of the 2,000 people, there's no reason why 20 to 30% of those people aren't looking for coaching already. So keep that in mind with numbers. This is a real thing. So your following is big enough to have a coaching business built off of it already. Keep that in mind. Okay. Not that thumbnails are the most important thing, or these actual I don't think you need to redo these the cover images for your reels or anything like that. But what I would do is make sure that the text that's on them tells a bit more of a story about what we're trying to post. I love the everything I ate today is great. But remember, people, they probably need a little bit more than that, than just everything I ate today. They need everything I ate today as, and this is about to come up, I'm sure, as a personal trainer, as an active college student. That's perfect. So you're trying to, and number one, look at all this engagement. People are clearly curious about this stuff and following along. They're probably also active college students. I would just make sure that, and this is home for the weekend, which is a different spin and a different, probably a concept that you can keep rolling with in terms of the different scenarios. You're out of your dorm or out of, you're back home, with your parents. How do you navigate that stuff? I remember I used to just go home and eat steaks without a side or anything. I remember my dad used to look at me like, hey, you gonna make a potato or a vegetable with that? I'd be like, no. But the different spins around how you can focus on that stuff. I would just make sure for the cover image that would come up as well, so that people, because at this point, like this reel is, how old is it? 6 days ago. Probably still makes my point around, number one, you're posting enough content for it to be like you're active on social media for sure, which is great. But this starts to, at 6 days, most pieces of content on short form media like aren't going to take off. They're not going to be continue to be found for the most part. Some will in terms of virality, like the really viral ones, but people aren't going to access this for the most part unless they come to your profile, and they're not going to click on it unless you give them a reason to. So I think it goes over much better if you switch the cover image to this right here, this part, everything I ate today as an active college student. Because I was also going to tell you, if you hadn't put the active college student, I would make sure that you make it just more specific. Everything I ate today as a certified personal trainer. Everything I ate today, like, because people are interested about that. Like, oh, Lily, she's got this stuff figured out. Come grocery shopping with me come grocery shopping at Trader Joe's with me as a healthy college student, as a health focused college student, as a health focused personal trainer. Like something on, like, getting more specific is always a good thing. That will just allow, that's what grows your following, is that people know exactly who it's for. I'm Lily and I'm a CPT. That's great. Lily, one thing about the CPT is, do we know that? Or does everyone know that? Like, your personal training friends might, but other people might not, right? I'm also noticing that, like, people love your stuff, Lily, but you don't engage with them. You don't comment back. You don't ask them, like, Mandy Fit says, love this. Like, what does she love about it? Me too. What are you loving about this? Like, just boost the engagement. That's number one, how you make things go even further, but also how you start to build a community of people around you doing similar things and that look to you as the guide and professional. So those are some of the things that I would like start to focus on if I would want to grow my following, as well as your captions. If I wanted to grow my following, I would, like, a lot of this stuff is funny, which is great, but I'd always put like, follow your exact profile, Lily P Fit, for more funny gym reels, for more like to add a little bit of humor to your like health focused routine, like something along those lines. So like to give them a reason, make it obvious that you want them to follow would be my advice around that. That's what I'm thinking around a lot of this stuff. I would say it looks like 4 months ago, I see a lot more of Lily's face, which I think is fantastic. Like, that is going to be the conversion aspect that you need down the road. Is people don't hire fit people, right? They hire coaches that they feel like can lead them. So making sure that you're rounding out your content with more speaking based stuff that shows your face and your personality and all those things are great. I'm also noticing that, hey, you are crushing it at 19 years old. So keep it up, keep engaging with these people, and making some of those tweaks. And I think your content will continue to grow. Okay. What do you guys think about that review of Lily's stuff? Let me know in the comments. Any questions, any things that you would do, any things that I'm missing or you would add in? That's my review of Lily's stuff. And Lily, if you're watching this, let me know. Happy to chime in and further the discussion. Okay, really, really cool. Let's keep moving here. Who do you got next? Got Mindy, Coach Mindy from our Nutrition Coaching Academy program. Amazing. I know, Mindy, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 profiles that you passed along, all on different platforms, which is more than okay. But let me pull up a few. The one thing I'm always thinking about with different profiles is is making sure that we're posting the content in a place where our ideal client is hanging out. We've talked about niching stuff in the past and how right now you could work with anyone that wants to work with you, that you feel comfortable working with, that you feel like you could help. But with our marketing, ideally, we try to speak to a specific type of person and see how it lands, see how they view us, get more specific around the results. It just makes it so that our content goes a little bit further. With that being said, you also want to make sure that you're doing this stuff on the platforms where those people are hanging out, and those people are more likely to take a look at your stuff. Would be the biggest thing. So for you, just as much as it is Instagram, I think it's Facebook as well in terms of the demographic. Like I'd focus on that way, but let's take a look at some of the stuff that you're posting. Give me 1 second here. Let's share the screen again. Here's Mindy's page. Awesome. Okay. Mindy, you have a background in hair, and now you're also pushing forward with your nutrition coaching, which I'm super happy and keen about because you're fantastic at it and you're very passionate and those type of things. I would, before and after school with the hair stuff, I think you can do this with your own story as well. And I feel like you've done it at some point here, but you need to continue to do that. It's like the most important aspect. I'd continue. Okay. This is it. 2005, right before Jeff went overseas. Now 2024, just the other day. You look incredible. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is my why. Some of you know my journey and some of you do not. I work very hard to learn how to take care of my health and my body. I wanted to share and help others, but I didn't know how. I learned my way isn't your way. Now I help anyone who really wants to change their habits for the better. I do know the one thing about this is like, I can imagine your health was transformed inside and out. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, there does appear to be some weight loss there as well. We do want to focus on telling the story that others are interested in too. This is kind of funny about like, I've learned that through this through my process as well. When I write like an about me page, I'm trying to reflect the story that I feel like the person reading that can see themselves in. Like, so I think you probably want to spend a bit more time on like your why, but where you were and how that felt and what changed and what's different now, those type of things. I would explore that and kind of build that out a little bit more. But to me, this is a concept that you need to talk about like each and every week, because I think so many people want that, and so many people will see themselves in that story, either like the before, the middle, the after, and that's what's really going to build credibility and stand out. So I'd really key in on that and kind of go from there. I think posting certifications is great too. I think it boosts your credibility, shows people that you're actively working on this stuff. So I continue to talk about that stuff as well, and kind of go from there. So that's where I'd spend a lot of my time and energy. Is you have an amazing transformation story, and I would just continue to share that and talk about that would be the biggest thing. That would be my advice for you right now. Because I think one of your primary goals was to find my people, land paying clients, networking with like-minded people. Those people are going to love the transformation. So I would continue to focus on that. If you need other ways of highlighting that and sharing that, I'm happy to talk more about it, but that would be my advice for you at this moment. And I think also thinking about like, yes, you passed along your LinkedIn, you passed along a few different Facebook accounts. I'd be focusing my energy on like it's always good to get really good at one platform first. I think for you, it'd probably be Facebook. I think that's where you're going to get the most traction, but I would probably, since Meta owns both of them, focus my energy on Facebook and Instagram, like because we cross promote and kind of go about it that way. That's where I'd spend my energy there, Mindy. Okay, hope that's helpful. Next up, we have Chaolin Mazes. Primary goal: grow following and get more leads. Any secondary goals? Just want to inspire others and get to 20,000 followers. Okay, this is the big time here. Nice work. Let's go to your profile. If there's anything specifically you want me to review or advice on, just be super critical. I notice a lot of likes when I post something not gym related, but when I post a workout or something, I don't get as much as I did before. Maybe you can help me figure out why. Okay. I'm happy to be critical. That's not my forte. I'm more of an optimist, but we can dive into that aspect. Imagine I say that right before I just lay into this great person that shared their story with me. Let's take a look here. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, awesome. Got your profile up here. Shell Fitness strength and mobility trainer. Love that, because I think it's important for us to like this part of your profile here. This top line is the searchable aspect. So having some keywords in there that people like, that categorizes you, that can be found, is important. That part is great. At 14,000 followers, also going to toss you a follow here. Yeah, this is great. Fantastic. Let's key into how to grow your following and get more leads. The one thing is, in the last probably like 2 years, reels have been all the rage, going from more B-roll, like more like talking head, face to camera stuff, to more B-roll stuff. I'd always look through your content and think about, is there anything that stands out as like performing well for you? They all seem to be like in between the 500 to 1,500 view mark. Things get more views typically when they're watched more than once. You got to think about these algorithms, right? They're based on things go further when there's average watch time. Probably a little bit unfair to compare the pinned reels because they stayed at the top of your page for longer. But I'm always thinking about like, if something takes off, I can imagine this is a collaboration. Yeah, with 5 others. It's the reason why that went over further. But hey, that's like, okay, it's like a fun idea to collaborate with some people. But hey, maybe that's another thing to continue to do. It doesn't seem like you've done that for a while as well in terms of local businesses. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that would be the biggest thing. As well as this looks like, oh man, Dutch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that's where it is. Obviously, like your English is so much better than any of my second language, if that is your second language. But other things to think about here. What I'm seeing as a thing that I think could make your stuff go further is, number one, like you got to lead with the results. A lot of these cover images, and maybe I could like think about it, talking about like the difference between hammer curls and regular curls. Like lead with the results. I like a girl with big, strong arms, a nice, strong upper body, not just big legs. Do you agree? So you're pushing the engagement there. But tell me about like, why would I want to know the difference between hammer curls and regular curls, right? It's like, this is the missing exercise to grow big, strong arms. Like that, I'd lead with that stuff, right? Leg workout, 3 exercises, 3 ways. Like you got to sell the benefit of this stuff in the text, which is, maybe it's curiosity based. Here's 9 ways to do leg exercises that you never thought of. Or is this like the missing link between you and a great set of legs? My top 5 ab exercises. Like why would I do ab exercises? To get a 6-pack. So maybe you change the text to like, get a 6-pack with my top 5 ab exercises. Like focusing on stuff that way, I think would be would be just as helpful. Got to lead with the results here. My top foam roller exercises and stretches. Why are people interested in mobility? In flexibility, like lead with the result. Like that's like that's the one thing I'm seeing that I think will help you continue to get eyes on your stuff, is that people need to hear about that aspect of things. Feeling great again. Try this next time you go on a long trip. Okay, stiffness, that kind of stuff. Tell me exactly what I'm going to get if I follow this. Like, follow my easy 10-minute exercise strategy to help you feel great on vacation. Like, give me 10 minutes and you'll never feel stiff on vacation again. Those are the things I would be focusing on here. Got a birthday post here celebrating my 36 and counting. Awesome. As also a 37-year-old, I feel like anytime we can get super fit in our 30s and keep that fitness, we should talk about it a little bit more. You gotta ham it up a little bit. I'd focus on that aspect too. Would be the biggest thing. Okay, those are all reels. What else we got here though? Before and after my accident. Man, bench press attempt. Jeez Louise. All the bones in my face did break. This is a PSA on, public safety announcement on number one, using the safeties, which I'm sure I can imagine you weren't maybe you didn't have access to them at the time, that kind of thing. But oh man, that's scary. 6 years ago already. Oh man. Yeah, I continue. I don't know exactly how to weave that story into all of this, but there's definitely something there, and probably something you talk about more often too. You had mentioned like getting more likes when you post things that aren't gym related. So here's a 37th birthday style post. I think people are just as curious about what like health and fitness professional does in their everyday life. And that could be why, like, you're showing aspects of your personality. Here's a good example of what I'm saying though. Functional leg day. Does the person that's following you know what that means? I think they'd be more likely to like steal my leg day routine type of thing. Like, that's what I would do. And then it's like, let's go. Do you need something more customized? Let me know, and let me know. I can write you a free program, type of thing. Maybe it's like a free trial to your workout plan or your app, those type of things. That's what I'm thinking right now. Challen, let me know if this all makes sense and checks out. I would get more specific with the result, and you got to lead with the result. Like, that's all part of a good hook, and it's going to keep people watching, and it's going to keep them coming back and knowing. It's like, most importantly, knowing what's in it for them. So keeping that in mind too. Okay, let me go back to my video here. How are we feeling, gang? Good? Just give me a quick second here. Got that stuffy nose, but I'm not quitting. I will keep going. Who else we got? Christina Sheritz. What is the primary goal of your social media account? Land paying clients. I love it. We need more clients. That's going to help grow our business. Obviously, we need to be good at coaching and retain those clients as well. But on this side of things, social media, like, the goal should be to get more clients. That's a good thing. Secondary goals: build an email list of potential buyers down the road. Also a great warming mechanism, that type of thing. You got two things linked up here: your YouTube and LinkedIn. Let me check out both of those. Okay, let's go to LinkedIn first. Just like I was talking about with Mindy, where we post this content on has to like line up with where the avatar is hanging out. Health performance strategist. I'm noticing by the keywords already that like this is probably where these people hang out. Ex corporate finance, 10 years, certified health coach, and scrum master. Is that a, forgive my ignorance, is that a rugby thing? I don't know. Helping high achieving professionals maximize their health ROI. Great keywords. I feel like LinkedIn is a great place for all this. The health ROI is the name of your signature program, which is fantastic. Naming your stuff is always great because you no longer are just like a nutrition and health coach, right? You are the creator of this thing that is unique to you and can only be found through you. That's why sometimes it feels funny to name our stuff, but it's the most important thing we can do. Built for founders, execs, and investors. What I love about all this stuff is that like just as important as social media is, and we can start to post about anything that's applicable to them, right? You can talk about corporate finance here as a way of like giving your opinion on things that is interesting to the people that you're trying to attract. That's the coolest thing about having a niche is it doesn't always have to be like the health and fitness advice for those people. You can also speak their language and get them interested that way. One thing I'm seeing right off the bat is that like when you post this stuff, Christina, there's a few posts 2 weeks ago here. This has tons of engagement, 26 comments. Clear and to the point. Thanks for sharing. Oh, man. Thank you for the support, Michael. Hope some of these applied will yield you good results. That's a great comment back, but I'd also be like, I'd press Michael a little bit. Which one of these tips are you going to put into action, Michael? Which one of these tips do you think will be the most helpful for you? Get them talking about their own stuff. Cool. We use science. I feel like, I mean, a lot of these people I think it's hard to say if they're ex-visionary CEO, if they're like the avatar. I think Alain might be here. Juan definitely is. Cool. I've been guilty of chasing quick fixes. The reality is exactly what you said. Energy isn't found. It's built consistently. I love that. Okay. Yeah, I think I think in some of your engagement, you have probably an opportunity here to like listen and focus a little bit more on what they're saying versus your comment back. Because like you kind of like more or less agree with what he's saying and kind of tie it into what you said as opposed to like getting to the bottom of why he's guilty of chasing quick fixes. So I don't know, maybe asking him what he's doing differently now, or like what does he plan to do about it, or does he need any support? Like, are you looking for any support to like beat these quick fixes and build something long term? Like that's what I'd focus on. Okay, the next tip is, and like I think you're obviously like this is tons of engagement here. I think like the keywords and stuff like you're crushing, but you probably just need to post more of this stuff would be the biggest thing. Steal my health ROI office setup. Love that post. 32 comments, tons of engagement. I think, okay, 2 months ago, interested in working together with a wait list. That's fantastic. But what's the outcome here, right? Like instead of interested in working together, like that's obvious. Like there's a next step, but it's like, are you interested in losing? You say in the next post, 10 to 15 pounds of fat, regaining energy and feeling back in control. And then like kind of wrapping in the like, so you can, right? Like what is the so you can? For these people, it's probably so they can like dominate their business. They can be unstoppable. They can be the high performer and efficiency machine that they know they can be. Okay, the one thing about this stuff that I'm seeing, and most of this stuff was posted at the beginning, but there's videos at the end, is I have a feeling you had mentioned wanting to do some more evergreen stuff on YouTube, which I think is a fantastic thing. I have a feeling, and let me pop over to this. I'm going to stop my share on the screen. Keep doing the LinkedIn stuff. You're crushing it. I would just think about like, what do I need to do to engage these people with the thought of them becoming clients is like the most important thing. Let me blow my nose. But with these videos that you're posting, man, the easiest way to get more engagement is, let's see if you're doing it. Not as active on YouTube, which is more than fine. But you're not posting those as shorts on YouTube. That's the best place to test out titles and grow your following. Like, I have a feeling your LinkedIn is performing so well, Christina, because you have a bigger following on there. But that could be performing just as good on YouTube without the following, just because it's more search based, like all those things. So I'd start to put your reels or videos as shorts here and test out some titles and get over here on what I feel like is the best place on the internet, which is YouTube, because this is where we grow and start to utilize that. So that'd be the one thing I would do. I'd also, these titles are pretty good, but I probably would make them specific to your niche, which probably has changed since you made these videos, but you could also update these titles and see if they go. That's the coolest thing about YouTube is that like it is evergreen. I have a client just last week that adjusted a title on a video we would assume dead, like it hadn't had any views in the last few weeks, adjusted the title, and then it took off, right? Because YouTube needs to know where to put it and sometimes how we describe it with the keywords, and just allows it to like kind of categorize it differently. But the first thing I would do is start to put your videos on YouTube as shorts, because that's just like a missed opportunity right now. Yeah. Is there anything else specifically you want me to review or advice on? Bird's eye view. If I should go more narrow into nutrition coaching and nail the X accountant now, body fitness macro accountant. I don't know if I would do that. I'd go more specific around who this person is, but you really want to key in on what they want. And since you're more active on LinkedIn, let's bring that back up again. Also, if you guys are digging this stuff, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the description if it's helpful. If you have any questions, let me pull back up your LinkedIn. Yeah, like health performance strategist, help high achieving professionals maximize their health ROI. I really would think about like not so much like what you're up, like your story is good, but I would really focus on like what that allows people to do. Like there's got to be, as good as this content is, the result definitely needs to be at the forefront, which is like, I don't know exactly what you want. You wouldn't tolerate underperformance in your business, so why accept it in your body? I think this is good. I'd almost be like, you got systems for everything except the one that runs it all. I'd almost say like, almost like underperforming in your body is going to show up as underperformance in your business. Fix that and you fix everything. Like that kind of like shifts it to the focus on like what they want, and it's like maybe a bit more empowering. Executive performance audit. I love that. Like, let me show you exactly what's holding you back from blank. I think it's just, I think all the languages here, I would just make the shift to, and I wouldn't do it too, like, I would make the shift more on what they want, which I think you probably have the market research for. I think it's just a few small tweaks around using the words around what they want, which I don't know exactly what it is, but I have a feeling you do. So I'd focus on that. Also, I want to streamline the process. How do I get content, consistent messages? How do I get leads? I don't like cold outreach on LinkedIn. No one does because it's probably the worst platform for it. I could show you my notifications and messages of just like the graveyard of cold outreach. I'm not a huge fan of that either, but you don't need to. You have like, I think the one thing that maybe I'm not seeing is that like there's valuable stuff, and there's the audit process, but there's also probably not a lead magnet. Like you could probably take like all of your tips in this one that performed really, really well and just turn it into a lead magnet where you're going to post, like you're basically marketing the lead magnet at all times to get people into your world, and then hit them with an email funnel, or like, a text follow-up funnel that's completely, evergreen and optimized and working on the background without you. That's the way to get evergreen on all this stuff. Those are my thoughts around that, Christina. Doing a lot of the right things though. Okay. What else we got here? Man, we're cruising 43 minutes in. You guys enjoying this stuff? I haven't heard much from you in the chat yet. Let me know. My nose here, man. Honestly, I will not stop doing this though. I can't. I must do it. Gotta follow through, man. It's a big part of who I am. Jen, are you ready? Are you there? Let's dive into your stuff, Jen. Jen, to land paying clients and grow my following through education and tips. Jen, that might be part of the thing holding you back, is that to land paying clients and grow your following, the best way to do that is through showing the results of what you do, showing the results of what you have going on. Let me pull up your account here. I know you tune into a lot of my stuff here, Jen. So if you're there, feel free to have a discussion in the chat. Here we go. Messy Girl Fitness, helping 40 plus women lose the last 10 pounds and ditch diets. Awesome. If I look at this at first glance and I don't know you at all, Jen, I do see right away that you're like a healthy, fit person that has this figured out. Like you're definitely nailing the visual around that. But I definitely, and this is something that we've talked about in the past, like I would lean into the fact that, again, I know you as 49. People might see this and not, this is my 48th birthday. Like that's good. I would just get more shameless around what you've been able to do, because I think you got to build some confidence in that. To me, it's like how I got in the best shape of my life at 49, how I'm staying in the best shape of my life at 49. 3 tips to make, 50 like my best, leanest, and healthiest year yet. Like those things is what I would focus on, because those, again, you can give all the same education and tips, but that's going to lead with the result, right? You're leading with the thing that people want, the thing that people find inspirational. That's what I would do. And I think those type of posts, like you could redo some of your stuff with that intent of like going bigger with it in terms of like getting a bit bold, getting a bit more courageous. And then just the first link in the description, just like we said with Lily, I would encourage people to follow along as the main CTA, because I think those things could go a lot further. That's what I would do. Do we have any examples of that? Let's go. How to become fit at 50. I probably need to do this over on the Explore page and not the desktop version of that. But that's what I would be That's what I'd be doing and looking at, like for the most part. Like, what is there any examples of people doing that where you can like lean into it that way? That's where I would spend a lot of my time and energy. You got to go bolder and more courageous with this stuff because, from my view, you are someone that has this figured out, and others can see that too. But you just got to remind them of that and kind of spell it out to them a bit more effectively. What do you guys think about this stuff? That's it, man. We went through 5 profiles. Does anyone have anything else that they want me to take a look at? Let me know in the comments. Happy to take a look at yours if you're ready to have a little courage and drop it in the chat there. If not, you can also leave it there for today. But that is, I would say, almost 40 straight minutes of me going through some content. Hope you guys found it helpful. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments what stood out to you. If you're going to do any things like that, anything along those lines, happy to help. And let me know if there's anything else. That's it for today, gang. Chat at you soon. Bye. Now, as great as all those tips are, maybe you're still wondering how to start or grow your nutrition coaching. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the first link down in the description below, and you'll get all the details on our Nutrition Coaching Academy certification. It's a 90-day program that'll give you everything you need to start nutrition coaching or to take your nutrition coaching business to the next level. Check out all the details down in the link below, and thanks for watching.